Hello, welcome to Transformation Now. I'm Rita Rocker Kraft, and this is my program dedicated to helping you with your communication skills, professional image, business etiquette, and career development programs. So today we're going to be talking about techniques that you can use personally as well as professionally in your communication skills that will set you above, that will kind of put you on the cutting edge and out in front in what you're doing, not only in your professional life, but all of these things can also be used in your personal life. So hope you enjoy this today. And you know, in today's business environment, everything from good manners, proper speech patterns, our careful grooming, professional communication skills will always make the difference between getting ahead and being left behind. Well, you know, honestly, that affects our personal lives as well. How we're communicating with people, how we get along, what kind of energy we're giving off that maybe we don't even realize we're giving off. And so we still judge people by how they act, speak, look, and write. And if you start to think about that, that's really true. When someone enters a room in those first 7 seconds, you're judging all kinds of things about them because that's what we're seeing first. A lot of time those impressions maybe aren't correct, but that's what we're doing by how we first see them before we even start speaking to them. So you see that it's always important to be aware when we're with other people, how we're coming across, how we're projecting ourselves to the rest of the world. You know, whether it's clients, colleagues, suppliers, friends, all of those we're giving messages off to. And so we want to always think about that. And a lot of times it's been proven that an extra bit of polish in how we're grooming ourselves, how we're treating other people, will actually make the difference in us getting the job we want, or us acquiring new friends, or being part of an organization that we've just loved to, you know, want to be with for a long time. So think about those things. A lot of opportunities are actually lost due to a lack of soft skills. Even though maybe their technical skills are awesome, and your soft skills, again, are how you communicate, your nonverbal signals, what people see, and how you say things. So those are very, very important in having good manners. That's another soft skill that will actually get you ahead in the business world. Sometimes we think we have to just be really strong and really tough and all of that, but no, people want soft skills that show that we care about others as well. You know, particularly in an industry that handles money, it could be a bank, it could be a finance company, whatever the case may be, people will look at us and think, you know, if we're not dressed professionally, like we care about our business and our finances, they may feel like, you don't really look like you care what you're, how you're appearing. So I don't think you're going to take very good care of my business or my money. I remember one time when I was moving, this is a simple example, and so the gentleman who owned the company, he had just started it not too long before that, came over and he wanted to kind of give me an idea of what it would cost for the move. Well, I was so surprised when he pulled up in a pickup truck that was absolutely spotless. He was perfectly groomed. He had on more of a t-shirt, but it was a very nice, clean, looked like a new t-shirt, and his jeans actually looked like they had been pressed. And he was very mannerly in his communications with me, and I thought, wow, here's this gentleman coming over from a moving company. But I was so impressed by how well he took care of himself and his vehicle that I thought, he's going to take really good care of my furniture and my belongings as well. And so I hired him. So no matter what industry we're in or no matter what we're doing, people can make decisions from things just as simple as that. When I worked at a large corporation many years ago and in human resources, and this gentleman came in and he was so qualified as far as his education and his work experience, and he sent the interviewer a thank you note and flowers. He wanted that position so badly, but she would not hire him because she saw little nubs on his collar that, you know, sometimes just from wearing a little bit. I didn't even notice them, but she said he lacked attention to detail. So again, a lot of times people will pick out things that we don't even see. So when we walk out the door or when we're with people, I always stop to think about that. What kind of energy am I projecting? Happy, sad, angry, caring, engaged in the conversation. It will project on you. Just like as soon as someone enters a room, you can feel when someone enters a room if there's a warmth and an excitement, or if they're really angry, or whatever the case may be. You feel that energy coming from them. And so one thing that I've tried to watch more and more over the years is the fact that what kind of energy am I projecting? I had a bad day, or I had a bad morning, or I got in an argument with someone, or whatever the case may be. Okay, now I'm at a business meeting or I'm out meeting people. Am I still projecting that same kind of feeling? Or is it like, okay, take a deep breath, smile, and go forward? So always think about that energy because it's there 24 hours a day. So that's something that's very, very important. You talk about reaching the brass ring. And many years ago, there were such things as merry-go-rounds. I guess there's a few, and beautifully painted horses going around in a circle. And there was calliope, which is sort of a strange sounding piano music that would play with it. Well, up above were rings that were set up there, and you couldn't really reach them just by reaching, but you kind of had to stand up on the stirrups of the horse and grab. Well, every so often in this box of black plastic rings, there would be one that they called the brass ring. It was kind of a gold color. And people would try and reach up and grab that brass ring. And they were so excited, and there was a lot of, yay, good for this person, they got the brass ring when they got one, because it showed they had worked hard and they had tried and they accomplished their goal, reached up high enough that they could get that brass ring. And so think about that sometimes too. What is your brass ring? What is it that you want to do that would be a real blessing to you? Maybe something you wanted to do since you were young, but then life got in the way. And because of that, children, financial issues, family issues, you weren't able to get that. Think about that brass ring, because if that's still in your heart after all this time, it's meant for you. There's something in there to do, and you are gifted with the qualities that are necessary to be able to do that, to reach that. Always think about your brass ring and what it is so you can keep going for it. What is your true heart's desire? That would be a meaningful or important goal that you have in mind that you want to accomplish. It could be maybe you want to establish a charity because you have such a heart to help people. Is that something you would like to do? I know a couple people that really that's their heart's desire, is to establish a charity. One of them is to feed hungry children. That's really where his heart is. Maybe to own a quality, profitable business, to have a nice home. Do you want to do, or do you do what you love instead of what other people wanted you to do? Again, your brass ring is what you love, not what someone has told you or thought that you should do. Sometimes, especially with parents or others, they want to live vicariously through us, which means maybe a parent wanted to be in sports, they weren't that good, or something happened and they couldn't do it, so they push their child to be someone who excels in sports, when the child really wants to be more into technical things or music or dance or something like that. So what is your brass ring? That's the one you want to consider. What do you believe is your personal and professional brand at this time? I still think of things that I still want to do as far as a brand, but sometimes, I'm too shy. I want to do this so badly, but I'm too shy. Or I want to be a successful professional, but I didn't get the chance to go to school. It could be I'm just uncomfortable. I feel so insufficient because this person and that person, they have a master's degree. I didn't even make it through 1 year of college. Some of the most successful women I know that have made lots and lots of money did not have 1 hour of college. So don't ever let that keep you down, trying to compare maybe what you feel you don't have to compared to what some people do have, because honestly, we all have our own gifts and talents that we need to nurture and we need to make them grow. So knowledgeable, nowadays you can get on YouTube and type in anything, absolutely anything, and get classes on it. There's a new one coming out that's going to be competing against YouTube, depending on the topics that you're looking for. I mean this in a good way, and it's called Rumbles. So you might keep an eye out for that. It has a lot of freedom of good speech. I'll just put it that way. But anyway, think about those things, what your personal brand is right now. Because we can change those things. We can change our manner. We can learn manners so that we feel more competitive. Everything you'd ever want would be on places like YouTube to learn how to have dining techniques with people when you're doing business, how to dress properly, and all of those things. So those are all available free of charge. Now, yes, I do consulting and counseling, and I've helped people buy new wardrobes and done all of that. I'm very happy to do that. But you can find everything that you need out there, especially when budgets are tight and things are happening the way they are right now. Get online and start learning new tips and techniques will take you more towards the goal that you want, your brass ring. So what do you want to project? You want to be maybe looked at as the expert, okay? So you have a heart for something you really desire, or you want to do it, and you have a lot of skill in it. It could be a baseball coach. It could be something in the science realm. It could be the best dancer in the world. It could be someone who has an organization that's really out there making a difference in the world. So think about those things that you have and go for those specific training programs. And I even tell people, if you aren't belonging to any organizations right now, first try a couple online. Look up the subject, but I would say take one organization to get involved with online through social media, whatever, where you can actively contribute your knowledge and your skills and your abilities as you learn from other people. Do one that's on the professional area that you want to be involved in. But then I also recommend doing one for fun, whether it's baseball, basketball, whether it's art, painting, new science projects, whatever it would be. Do something for business, professional, and do something for fun, so that your life feels more balanced, more in control, and you have a time to sit back and enjoy. And sometimes when people are super busy with jobs and kids, it's a little bit more difficult, but if you can take lunch breaks, or sometimes I've told people, even if you have to take like 10 minutes for yourself where it's quiet and you can watch a real quick video or blog, lock yourself in the bathroom, say I'm taking a bath, just do something like that in order to have some quiet time to really absorb all of those things that are big desires in your heart that you really want to do. Success starts on the inside, as I've mentioned many times before, and so that's with a self-image checkup. That's the first thing that you want to do. Our level of self-esteem, not only in the working world, but in our personal world, really affects how we get along with everybody. If we have a good self-esteem that shows that we're confident in who we are, we value ourselves and we value other people. Poor self-esteem can mean the person is either shy and just backs away and can't get involved with others, or sometimes someone with poor self-esteem will actually put other people down and be critical. Why are they doing this? To make themselves feel better. And so always think, when a person is like that, there's really some underlying issues that they are dealing with, and maybe you can actually help them deal with those self-esteem issues as well by giving them some compliments, maybe when they really don't deserve it, but a sincere compliment on something they did. Sometimes that can really help a person pull out of that negativity that they may be feeling right now. But anyway, our self-esteem is everything, our self-perception. Perception is basically how we see ourselves and how we believe other people see us. Same thing could be with them, how do they see themselves? How do they see us? Perception is considered reality, whether it's true or not. So if we perceive something to be good, bad, ugly, sad, if we perceive ourselves to be strong and capable, but yet sensitive and kind, other people will see that and they will treat us accordingly. Usually people treat us the way we treat ourselves. And so it's either I have a lot of self-esteem, I'm confident, I'm not cocky, I'm not uppity, but I know who I am, I know my value and worth, and that's how we want to come off with people, that we're quality people. And sometimes that takes a process to do that if we've had a really tough life and don't really have the self-confidence. So again, I say get on those classes. I've told people, hey, look in the mirror and talk to yourself positively, or use your cell phone and actually record what you're doing. Record an introduction that you might be giving to someone. And stick your hand out and go through the practice. If you can practice on a cell phone in front of the mirror or with a trusted good person who will give you a good critique, not a negative criticism, but a solid critique, you build up yourself while you're still kind of alone, so that you're practicing and preparing yourself for when you get out there more in the working world, the school world, whatever it may be, and you're more comfortable because you've gotten so used to it, you've practiced it so much. And with people who are sports figures, dancers, celebrities, just different people like that, people who win pageants, they have rehearsed and they have practiced and practiced and practiced, and maybe had people critique them until it's so ingrained in their mind, they know they're going to win. They know they're going to be confident and successful. Why? Because they practiced it till that's who they've become. And a lot of that you can do in the car. You can do that in the car. Have a self-talks with yourself about how quality you are and how strong you are. And smile. Sometimes we give off negative energy, and I tell people, if you can just smile, like maybe look up, just literally look up and smile, you can't be angry right then. And so sometimes I've done that, and when it's like, oh boy, what a day I've had, it's like, nope, just look up for a minute and smile. And it literally changes the cells in your body. It changes how you feel. And then you can go out there into maybe a challenging situation, or go out and now, leave all the troubles from work at work and now enjoy your family. So just a few little things like that can really help quite a bit. Maybe do some things that will be outside of your comfort zone. One of the best things I ever heard was, do it afraid. And that's hard to do, but when we do things but we're afraid of, but we do them anyway, we grow and we get so much stronger, and then we start loving the things that we were afraid of. People say, hey, if you fall off a bicycle, what do? You get back on. Okay, so when you've gotten back on, maybe you did it afraid, but boy, as you keep working at it, now you're strong again and you're positive. Same thing can happen with a car accident. Sometimes people are petrified, but they get back in and do it again anyway. And as they do that, they realize how strong they really are in the first place. So you might think on my job, oh, well, I need to make 10 calls a day. I don't want to do them, but I'm going to make 10 calls a day, or I'm going to write X amount of thank you notes or little kudos, little appreciation notes, like maybe one a day. If you do that, you think of everybody anybody that's really done anything nice to you, and it could be years later. I remember when I was counseling some girls at a finishing school, and one of them acted like she didn't want to talk to me at all, or anybody else for that matter. I know there were a lot of issues in her life. And so it was probably 5 years later, after she was gone and I was gone and everything, she found me and wrote me the most beautiful note about how much I had impacted her life. And that she just wanted to let me know that just because she was acting that way, she was still receiving what I was giving out to her. And what a blessing that was. So again, if you can think about writing notes to people, little thank yous, little cards, you might really make someone's day, and it makes you feel so much better as well. So start thinking. It could be a speaker, it could be a leader at a company or a church, it could be a caregiver, coach, whatever the case may be. Start thinking of people that you can give little notes to, even little emails, little texts, whatever the case may be, and really build them up. And in exchange, they'll be drawn to you. You'll build up your relationships, friends, and business associates, and it really makes a difference because everybody needs to feel loved, feel accepted, and to feel worthy. That is so important, whether it's personally or professionally. So think about that. Tell yourself that maybe no less than once a month, and preferably once a week, you're going to get on a YouTube or some sort of professional call, Zoom call, and get involved and start participating. It's amazing. And then maybe you meet people online that go, hey, could we meet for coffee sometime? And you build another relationship. I've done that several times because, you know, I never wanted to make anybody mad. I always tried to be the yes person because I didn't want anybody not to like me. Well, I realized that's not the real world. But what we can do, though, is be strong, be caring, be compassionate, and start speaking to people in a positive manner, but never let anybody try to take control or manipulate. You are strong, you're sensitive, you have a solid mind, God gave you a beautiful mind, and so know that you're so valuable, and I can't stress that enough because I see in the world people really need to feel more valuable, most of them, than they do. So think about those little notes, those little thank yous, those little things that you can do to make someone happy. And it will return back to you. It really will, and it'll be amazing. You know, think you'll be active in groups. Again, like I said, a personal one and a professional one. It could be sports, it could be music, it could be something besides what you're doing in science or geography or administration or whatever the case may be to build up those relationships. So again, think of what your own perception is doing in your life, how it's controlling your life, because again, perception is absolutely everything. So every day, I would ask myself, like morning and night, am I sending out the message to other people that I am the one they want to do business with? Or am I the one that they want to build up a friendship with? You know, think about that a lot. Because sometimes I know I've thought, well, no, not really. I don't seem to have the qualifications and education or money or whatever the other person has. But think about those things. Do I have those qualifications? What kind of message am I sending to other people? And if you really stop and that becomes part of your daily life, you think, oh yes, you know, yesterday I just was cranky because I'd had so many things going on. And so now today when I run into that person, I'm really going to go just the opposite way, tell them how much I appreciate what they're doing or something. And so think about those things. What kind of message are you giving out by how you're acting, how you're looking? Are there any eye rolls? Are there any frustrations? Are people being drawn to you because they're just so happy to be around you? Think about the people you like to be around. How do they act? The ones you truly would love to be around, not the ones maybe we're familiar with, just, you know, maybe they don't treat us right, but we're familiar with that, so we stick with it. But who are the ones that you really are drawn to, that you'd really love to learn more about and hang out with? Those are the kind of qualities that you want to express outwardly to other people. And it is a magnetic effect. That's what we'll come back to, and it's pretty amazing. I've worked on that a lot, and it really can change your life a lot. So just think, what's the most important area I would like to change in my life? It could be maybe, oh, you know what, I really need to get some more exercise and watch what I eat because I'm so tired. And so when I do that, it's going to give me more energy. I'm going to feel better. I'm going to get out there and do more things. What is it maybe that I would like to change? Is it my communication skills? Do I sound kind of weak or too strong? What are my communication skills saying? Would I like to change those? And if so, start writing out of the things that you would like to change. Like when I was told that one time, and I was very professional answering the phone at the Labor Department, and my mentor said, you sound very unprofessional. And I thought, well, same to you. And then I thought, you know what, she's right. Because I swallowed my pride and I started listening to how I was answering the phone, and boy, was she correct. And so I changed that. So what's something that maybe you would like to change, whether it's verbal, how you're talking, nonverbal, what you're doing with yourself, your appearance, your mannerisms, or whatever the case may be, or your appearance. So these are all things that will help. I'm going to be continuing this program as we talk about techniques that will help set you apart from other people, that will draw the right kind of people to you, and that'll actually help kind of keep the people you don't want to be around away from you because they can't relate anymore. They can't feel that same energy anymore. And that's awesome when that happens, and when you realize, hey, those kind of people aren't coming around me anymore, and that's good. I'm attracting the people that are really quality ones that I want to spend the rest of my life with. So think about those things, all that energy, that is everything. So we're going to talk about this again in the next program, so I just really would encourage you, start watching, listening, thinking about all of these things, and then just get in the habit of practicing them every day. And I just wish you all the best as you continue to grow and to soar higher. So have an awesome week and see you later.